Welcome back. It's the Florida Gambling Boys on YouTube. It's our Football Frenzy show. Hope everyone had a great holiday. Sorry we weren't with you last week. Family obligations get in the way sometimes, guys. Every once in a while, football has to take a backseat. Not often, but sometimes. I'm joined, as always, Midwest Tommy Tice, Super Dave Kreitz. First of all, Dave, I will say congratulations. Your Wolverines salvaged their season with another win over Ohio State.
It was an unexpected yet beautiful day.
I can imagine.
Last Saturday.
I can imagine. Tom, I know it's not the outcome you wanted.
Well, here's the thing. I knew at halftime that game was over. Just because of the way Michigan's front seven had played that game in the first half, and they had shut down Ohio State's running game. Ohio State averages 178 yards rushing per game. They had 77 yards rushing for the whole game. Michigan's front seven gets all the credit in the world for that game. You're playing with, let's face it, a below average quarterback.
Yeah.
But I'll give you another thing too, though. Michigan went out and ran the football in the second half with a very young offensive line that was very physical against what's supposed to be a really good front seven for Ohio State. So I think Michigan beat them in all facets of the game in the second half. And there's nothing you can say about that other than Ohio State got their ass kicked in the second half at home.
Dave and I were talking pre-show. Was that the worst offensive game plan you have ever seen from Ohio State?
I don't know what Chip Kelly was trying to accomplish. He kept running the ball up the middle against the strength of the Michigan defense. I'm not sure the two defensive tackles' names, number 55 and number 79. But those two guys, the penetration they got on every single play, I mean, Ohio State was barely lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and they were doing it on both first and second down. And then they're putting Will Howard in a 3rd and 7 on almost every series.
I just don't know how you don't get Jeremiah Smith involved, the most dynamic offensive playmaker.
Well, he's not happy.
He shouldn't be. Wouldn't be surprised me if he transfers.
Well,
there
was the little tweet birds were out today.
Well, it's almost portal time.
Yeah, he's not going to go this year, but he's waiting to see what happens. Obviously, I don't think Ryan Day stays.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. What everybody's thought is on
I'm going to tell you
Day
why. It's more of a family issue than it is a football issue. I just don't think the family is happy in Columbus, just because of the way the Columbus fans are. I think Ryan Day, he could actually win the national title and walk out of there and be the somewhat hero to win a national title, but not win the big game.
Right.
But I don't think he comes back next year. So now we have to look at the 3 coaches that are going to take that program over.
Is it Vrabel?
No.
Fickle doesn't leave Wisconsin after 1 year.
Nope. It's Marcus Freeman.
Oof.
He's coming home. He played under Tressel for 4 years.
Interesting.
He's from Ohio. He would love to come home and coach his program. He's a very intense guy. If you watch this Notre Dame team
Players love playing for him.
If you watch this Notre Dame team play this year, they're extremely physical. They don't have the talent that Ohio State does, but as long as he keeps Hartline as his recruiting manager,
he'll be okay.
He's going to be fine. If Marcus Freeman goes to Ohio State, look out.
Dave, your thoughts?
If he does go to Ohio State, I'll agree with you. We'll watch out for him. Last Saturday, I don't know how to put it. My wife didn't have a child, but Ohio State got a new daddy.
Yeah.
And his name is Sharon Moore.
4 in a row.
Because he's got 2 as a head coach.
Sure. Yeah.
He's got 2 as a head coach. Jimmy wasn't able to be there, and we've got no excuses for this. But where we go from here, and I've already seen it with Bryce Underwood and a couple linebackers sprinkled in, the 4-star recruits.
Well, you look at today's recruiting class, they're ranked 5th.
Right. It's coming.
It's coming. Oregon's 1, Texas was 2, I think Alabama was 3, Georgia was 4, Michigan was 5, Ohio State was 6. So
the Blue Bloods.
It's the same group that's in that.
But it's gonna get ugly, and if Ryan Day wants to stick around, to catch just one more?
Here's the thing.
That
with
way we
Ryan
can
Day.
knock his red shirts out on top of his seniors?
Here's the thing with Ryan Day. I don't know that he has the fortitude to be this guy.
All right, so building on that, can I play point counterpoint?
Yeah.
And I honestly, I'm going to go on record and say I don't
Are you
think.
cold?
Yeah, very.
Jesus.
By the way, in Florida, it is cold here. It was like 37 last
I
night.
got a t-shirt on. It's great out here.
I may be fat, but I
So
still get
am I.
cold.
Yeah.
I'll
Jeez,
play
you kidding
point
me?
counterpoint.
I
So
just had to make sure I wore every Michigan shirt I had.
Yeah, he's got them all on. Look at him. He got
So-
3 hats on.
So he goes to Oregon and loses by 1 point.
Yeah.
A game they easily could have won.
Should have won, but
They
yeah.
go to Penn State, shut down Penn State, don't give up an offensive touchdown. They blew out Indiana, which was supposed to be a great game. I mean, that game was never close.
No.
Yeah, they lost to Michigan. That sucks.
Michigan's in his head.
Indiana,
so.
Indiana had no business being where they were in a sense. I won't say too big for their britches, but just got caught on that Saturday.
Yeah,
and I'm not
agree.
saying
But only
you play
that, but
this
you
game
look at
10
Indiana's
games, 5
schedule
out of
going
5.
into that
Maybe
game.
if their special teams was better, it was a closer game. They hang around.
Right.
Well, Ohio State special teams were horrible on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, how does Fielding, who is the 3rd best kicker in the country this year percentage-wise, miss a 41 and a 47-yard field goal? I'd check his bank account is what I would do.
Oh yeah, Connor Stallions is sending the money.
No,
ain't
I
he?
would check Fielding's bank account. Anybody could have sent it to him. I ain't worried about Connor Stallions. He's out. He's done.
So
Newest
unless there's a
excuses.
better job, is there really a better job out there? Unless you're talking about Lincoln Riley leaving USC, could Ryan Day go there?
No, Ryan did go to the NFL.
Well, I don't know if I kind of think the shine's off his luster a little bit after losing 4 in a row to Michigan.
The thing about Ryan Day, he runs his program like an NFL guy.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of intensity.
He's not
coming
going
from
as an
him.
NFL head coach.
What's that?
He won't go as an NFL head coach.
Not at first, no. No,
But-
but here's the thing. Ohio State, they still owe him $39 million.
That's a lot of money.
So,
Jacksonville will pay him.
but here's the thing. You
They've
want to
got
pay
good
him,
history with
Yeah,
Ohio
right.
State coaches.
you want to pay him $39 million and then take money away from your NIL money? The boosters already came out and said give him another year.
You already
So you
spent
don't think
15
if
on
we
boosters.
talked about in the pre-show, we talked Lincoln Riley possibly leaving USC to go to UCF.
Yeah?
So if he did and Ryan Day gets fired, you
He's
don't
not going to
think,
get fired.
or he decides to leave,
He's going to decide to leave. He's not going to get
you
fired.
don't think he could end up at Southern Cal?
It just
I mean,
depends if he wants to deal with the NIL, this, that. Right now, believe it or not, there's 39 Division I coaching jobs in college, but the 32 coaching jobs in the NFL right now are easier to manage than those 139 jobs in college
It's
football.
become a big business now with this. I mean, the whole playoff is made for TV.
Well, it's the NIL, it's
Yeah.
the transfer portal.
You're right.
You got to recruit
But this
your
is what
kids
they
every-
want. They want the college season never to end.
Right.
No,
Which is
that-
what the NFL does.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But here's the thing, I think this transport where guys were able to leave as early as yesterday,
yeah.
I think it's a joke. Wait till
It's got to be
March.
after bowl season.
Wait till March.
Yeah.
Wait till March 1st. But for guys that are walking out, like Ohio State lost Fleming, the wide receiver yesterday. Good receiver.
Sure.
Not a great receiver.
Hey, but he'll end up somewhere and probably be a number one.
He could probably go to a lot of schools and be a number
Yeah.
one. He's not going to be a number one at Ohio State. But why are we allowing this to happen the day, 3 days after the final regular season game
Yeah,
of college football? I just don't
these
understand
teams
that.
have so much on the line with the playoffs impending, and I think I agree with you. It should be after the end of the college season.
Yeah.
That the portal holds
For sure.
for a 3-week period or,
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Enough about the portal. Enough
Let's
about
talk.
Ohio State's chances.
Conference championship weekend. We go through all year to get to this. We'll start on the low end. Let's start Big 12, Iowa State and Arizona State. Certainly not the matchup I thought that was going to be in the Big 12 at the beginning of the year. Arizona
By no
State
means.
has definitely done a great job. Their coach is maybe coach of the year with what he's resurrected with that program.
Yeah, but what could you expect with what the Big 12 has left after everything, too?
No, great point. I mean, there's not a lot there.
No, Kansas
meat
State
is
was
off the
down.
bone.
I mean,
Yeah.
Colorado had a good year, but against, again, a down conference. BYU had its moments, but they finished 10-2. They're out. Kansas was down. I don't think Oklahoma State won a conference game this year, did they?
No, they were 3-8 and lost to Colorado.
Yeah, they were 0-8 in conference and lost to
and then
Colorado.
They
They
were 3-8
just got
and lost to
smoked.
Colorado, so they were 3-9.
So
However,
definitely a down
I still
year.
love
I
that
mean, if
game.
gun to my head, I mean, if you look at all these lines this weekend, they're short lines.
Way short.
And I think,
Denver Pickham's along the board.
yeah, I think this game is at 2.5.
Yeah, I've got to the 2. I like Iowa State. I like Matt Campbell.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Matt Campbell to come in and win a football game. I think he's a really good coach.
I think he is. I think he missed his window to go to the pros, but he's very happy in Ames.
He's quite happy at Iowa State.
Yeah.
He goes anywhere from 8-4 to 10-2 every year. He gets a big bowl game.
That's it. Yeah.
And they're happy with him, and he's happy there. So,
Dave, who do you like in this game?
These, like you said, these spreads are low.
yeah.
I'm taking Arizona State as it is. Couple reasons I'm doing so. Iowa State is 2-4 against the spread on the season, while Arizona State is 10-2. They're 5-0 in their last 5 games. Their running back Scatabo has 1,398 yards and 19 touchdowns.
He's going to play on Sunday, Scatabo. And they have probably the best, I think, the best wide receiver in the country.
Little possible talk about him, Heisman finalist, not going to win it.
Right.
I'm not even going to
Right,
get in
but
there.
he's in that top 8.
He's got 19 touchdowns, 1,400 yards. Their wide receiver, Jordan Tyson,
He's a good one.
1,101 yards, 10 touchdowns on 75 receptions. I didn't look too much into this because they don't talk a lot about it because it's Iowa State and Arizona State.
Right.
Nobody really cares, but Arizona State has 3 of 19 receivers playing, and those 3 have over 1,000 yards. And I think they just spread out the Cyclones.
What did that quarterback throw for 4,388 yards or something this year?
I don't have those
Yeah,
numbers,
it was
but
I think he broke 4,000 yards. I
It
know
was a
that.
crazy number.
and they're playing at AT&T Stadium, so you know it's going to be slick, fast, high scoring.
That's it.
I'll take Arizona State to cover that little 2.5, and
I just like
Let's
I,
go
li-
over.
I like them. I do. They're on a great roll. You know, they beat it was supposed to be a solid BYU team. My jury's out on that as far as I'm concerned. But I think they match up well with Iowa State. And
Iowa State beat, a really good Iowa team.
Barely.
Better than anybody Arizona State played all year. So I'm sticking with Iowa State and Matt Campbell. I think Matt Campbell is really good at what he does.
as long as it stays under a field goal, I like Arizona State. Excuse
Yeah.
me. All right, let's move on to the ACC. I don't think anybody saw this matchup coming at the beginning of the year.
No.
SMU and Clemson. SMU is a 2.5-point favorite. Games being played.
I don't even know what to say about it.
in Charlotte.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about this. The fact that it's in Charlotte, the fact that we could have inclement weather, I have to give the edge to Clemson. Even though Clemson is a 2-point dog, I kind of like Clemson in this game. Huge, guys. So Clemson's going to go from, what do they got, 3 losses or 2? 3.
3.
So they're going to go to the top 4 if they win.
South Carolina, Louisville, and they lost.
Think
to
about how crazy this
Miami.
tournament's set up. So if Clemson
no,
wins,
Georgia.
They beat Miami.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
so think about how crazy this tournament is. If they win, they're going to be in the top 4 and get a home.
They get a bye. They get a bye, and then a home game. Well, actually, not a
No,
home
they don't
game.
get a home game.
It'll be at a large bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They'll be back in.
So finally, Dabo gets back in after 4 years. He gets back in the tournament.
And he's just going to use that to say, "Oh, I prove all my skeptics wrong. I don't need the portal, and I don't need NIL money."
But I will say one thing: this SMU team's good.
They
They're
are
really fast.
good.
Here's my thought. Honestly,
They're really fast, and their front 7 on defense. They're undersized, but good God, they make tackles everywhere.
they are a team that loves to run the rock.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter. Can they throw the ball? Yeah, but they're a running team.
Yeah, they are. But I love their defense.
I like Clemson's front 7 to be the difference in this game. It may not be years past, but I think it's A lot better than anything Clemson's seen this year. I watched them against Pitt. And Pitt, while they're banged up, had a pretty good front seven this year, and they made them look like Swiss cheese. So I like Clemson here.
I like Clemson in this
I'll
game
take the
also.
points, which is a de facto home game, where
they're
SMU's got to
Charlotte,
travel,
Yeah.
1,300 miles here. So
I mean, I think SMU is a really good football team. It's not a pick. It's not something I would take.
yeah.
But if I had to, I would take Clemson.
All right, damn it, I am getting hot. That's going to come off. Dave, your
Okay.
thoughts on this game?
I mean, total defense, Clemson's ranked 57th with 357.2 yards per game. SMU's ranked 28th at 326 yards per game. The scoring defense, 21 points per game for Clemson, 19.75 for SMU. That's good for 30th. Third down offense, SMU 31.4%, 11th in the nation. Clemson 33.9, 30th. I mean, it is a
mirror image.
tight-knit
It's tight.
matchup.
But like I said, though, I like this SMU's front seven. They're undersized, but they're really good football players.
That's where I'm going. It's SMU is going to go in the cold. I know Dabo, I think I saw 6-1 or 6-2 in these ACC conference championship games, but it's changing of the guard. It's time for. I talked about it week 1. Week 3, I think, was going to be the nail in the coffin when I said Georgia Tech's going to beat them and send Dabo on his way. But he's coming back. I'm taking SMU.
No, okay.
So if SMU loses, and another reason I think
I was just gonna
SMU
bring this up.
SMU is used to being in that role of a favorite in a massive game like this.
Right.
Well, they're 11-1, so they have.
Yeah, but they didn't play a very
wiggle room.
tough schedule. They lost to BYU early in the year, and they didn't play They didn't play Miami this year.
No.
Didn't play Clemson during the regular season.
Didn't play Georgia Tech.
Yeah. So
The
if
three most physical teams in the play.
if SMU loses,
So you're saying they're Ohio State?
do you think
Pretty much.
Do you think they're still in the playoffs at 11-2?
It's a great question.
Can't punish them for losing in the conference championship.
Depends what happens with Army and Tulane.
I don't think that's a
I don't think either one factors because I don't
That's a
think either
fact.
one passes Boise.
That's a factor. It's not a factor.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a 3-loss Tulane team,
Yeah.
a 3-loss Army team. I don't think either one of those is going to be a factor.
But if you have a two
But obviously if Clemson loses, they're out. That'll be 4 losses on the year.
Clemson's gone.
If SMU loses, do they sneak in on the back end?
Well, if they do, Alabama's probably out.
Yeah,
Or-
that's hard. That's a hard sell.
It's a really hard sell because I think Alabama's played a better schedule. And let's face it, Alabama's better than SMU.
And we'll get to the Boise game in a minute, but if Boise were to lose to UNLV,
Yeah.
does Boise stay in?
No. Because then I think you almost have to bring South Carolina into the picture.
Or Ole Miss, one of the
Or Ole
two.
Miss.
Or Miami.
I think
Or
South
Miami.
Carolina has a better resume than both those teams.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why I think South Carolina gets back in the fold. If that scenario happens.
But again, I look at it as, the one loss that Boise has was by 6 in Eugene against the Ducks,
Right.
which is as quality a loss as you're going to get.
So
So if they lose, do you punish them for losing in their conference title game? I mean, can you get 2 Mountain West teams in and UNLV, who would obviously be the 12th seed?
I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean,
they're
there's a
gonna
lot
lean-
of pieces, a lot of moving pieces.
But they're going to lean towards the SEC.
Yes. Yeah.
We already know
Sadly.
that right now in the Big Ten, Oregon, Ohio State,
Penn State.
Indiana, and Penn State are in. They're in. That's 4. In the SEC, we already know that Georgia,
Correct. Texas.
unless Georgia gets blown out.
Yeah.
If Georgia gets blown out by Texas, 42-10, they can't let them in the tournament. They're done.
Talk about that.
You know what I mean?
No, and again, I wouldn't want to have this job
No, I don't want to
of
pick
this
these
committee, but
I would love this job.
well, I mean, yeah, you want
Sit behind a
to
closed door.
sit in the Gaylord Center there in Dallas, Texas, and get
Yeah.
paid $50,000 to be on a committee. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Clemson game, you're on SMU?
I am on SMU.
Okay. All right.
I think it's just.
I'm on SMU.
Yeah, I'm on Clemson here.
just
I
take
think.
I don't know why.
Provided Cole.
I just think SMU has better athletes. And I think
I don't know about
defensively
that.
they have better athletes. Defensively, they have better athletes. I like this Clemson football.
I think Cole Klubnik will make a few big plays in this game. It might be the difference in their passing game. But
We'll see.
I just don't think SMU can run the ball in Clemson. I may be wrong. It happens once or twice a year. All right, let's talk Boise UNLV. This is a Friday night game. Right now the line sits, it's fluctuating between 3.5 and 4.
Four, I
Boise.
got it at 4.
Yeah, it opened at 3.5, and I've seen some 4s this morning. This is a really underrated UNLV team.
It's a good UNLV team, but I like Boise all
Are
day.
they a lot better when they play in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas?
Yeah, I like Boise State
Yeah.
all day in this game. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm taking Boise State to win, cover, and be done with it.
Yeah, put them to bed. And UNLV will wind up in the Las Vegas Bowl or something
Yeah,
like that. I mean, it's been a great turnaround season for them.
Fantastic. Dave, what do you like in this game?
I like Boise State's running back, and I can't even name him.
Ashton Junte.
Gente.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say-
he's great. Kid's a beast.
I like him. I like what Boise State has been since the Statue of Liberty.
Going back to the Fiesta
Back
Bowl,
in-
Ian
yeah.
Johnson with the
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty.
Like, I like where they're moving towards. I don't know enough about either side. I completely stayed away from this because I ran out of time because I'm packing to go up to Michigan to
Okay.
celebrate
With your
a little
brethren.
more. Yes.
So you're on Boise as well?
If I gotta flip a coin, I'm just gonna go Boise. They
Yeah,
got
me-
it. They got it running, and they have a Heisman hopeful
they
running
have-
back.
I saw
that-
UNLV play twice
This,
this year.
this is the game. This is the game where the superhero blows them out the door.
Yeah.
I saw Boise State or UNLV play twice this year. Both times they got like 31 points scored on them in one game and
Yeah,
37
Syracuse,
on
they
the
gave
other.
up
Yeah, it's just
41 and they beat them, but
Yeah.
and they
So-
played Boise early in the year and it was a close game. You know, here's my whole thing, and I'm going to stay away from this game. I have a personal bet with one of our resident Boise fans in the bar, you know, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I gave him a chance to get his money back because I beat him with Wyoming. And Boise should have lost to Wyoming. Wyoming played them to the nuts. You know, they were a 22-point dog, and I think they lost by 4. I mean, I think this game should be played on a neutral field. I don't think it should be played on campus in Boise at Albertson
No, I
Stadium.
totally agree.
But gun to my head, I'd probably
That's
bet Boise.
Mountain West.
But
Sorry about your luck.
it's a pass for me.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
It seems too easy to take Boise
It does.
with everything that's at stake and taking a dome team to go play in Boise. It may snow, you never know. It seems too easy, so
Yeah.
I'm going to stay away from it. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's go SEC.
Ooh.
Georgia
Ooga.
and Texas. Now, Texas only loss this year was to Georgia at home.
They got 2 losses.
Who else did they lose to?
Georgia's got 2 losses.
No, Texas.
Oh, Texas. I
Yeah,
thought you said
Texas
Georgia.
lost 1 game. Wasn't a very strong schedule.
Right.
I was
no.
gonna let you guys fight it out.
They didn't play Tennessee. They didn't play
No.
any. I mean, they didn't
No.
play anyone.
Yeah, they got the
They played
Arkansas, the
Michigan.
Floridas,
Yeah.
you know. Although a victory over Florida looks better now that they've salvaged their season. I think Michigan and Florida should play in a we salvaged our season bowl.
Florida don't want none of this. They don't want none of
We'll
this.
talk
smoke.
about that as we get closer. Texas
It'd be a
is
great matchup.
Texas is a 2.5-point favorite.
I got him as 3 here, but yeah. Good Lord. I don't know.
Pitter patter. I got you. Texas
Go ahead, Dave.
defense held Texas A&M scoreless.
Oh, I
The
know.
only reason Texas A&M scored was a pick 6.
Yep.
Right.
Only reason.
17-7.
It's ugly.
I think
The-
this Texas team is really good.
Their
They're
defense
good.
is
Their
second
defense is loaded.
nationally.
Yeah.
Their DBs, their secondary is first in yards allowed
Yeah.
per.
Well,
Positive
I think that's a
play.
fantastic point you brought up there, because let's see, what can Georgia
Not
do?
do.
Well,
Run
we know
the
they
ball.
can't run the football,
They cannot, so they're going to have to throw. And the
and you're
pressure
throwing
all
against
on
the
QB.
and we know Carson Beck is not the same Carson Beck
Well,
as
here's the
last
thing
year.
with him. I don't know what happened to him. He's just he doesn't.
lost-
I don't know if he's reading the.
he
Well,
lost-
good point.
He lost Brock Bowers.
Oh,
He
Brock Bowers was
lost
a huge loss.
Lad McConkey.
Brock Bowers was his biggest loss.
Carson Beck's completion percentage is down 7% this year.
His two security
7%.
blankets are playing on Sundays, starting in the pros.
Yes.
Well, Brock Bowers was his 3rd and 4 guy, 3rd and 6 guy.
Yep. And McConkey didn't drop a ball all year. And
no.
now Justin Herbert loves him in San Diego.
Yeah. So
This isn't a huge play for me, but gun to my head, I think Texas responds. Again, it's in a dome.
so hard for me to go against Georgia and Kirby Smart. It really is. But I think Sarkisian, I think he's a good coach.
I do
think
too.
he prepares his team very well.
Sark's coached with
Kirby, yeah?
Yeah.
He
He's
was on that
coached
staff.
with Saban.
Yeah.
They are of the ilk. Sark didn't show anything.
They're all in that tree. Okay. Yeah.
Sark didn't show anything. He's gonna show it on Saturday.
I mean,
To me,
gun to head, and I think it's a pick for me. I think I take Texas.
Dave?
That's just my own humble
I
opinion.
am right there with you. As I said, couple gambling reasons. Texas is 7-5, but only 2-4 in their last 6 games against the spread. Where Georgia is 3-9 against the spread, and they are 5th worst nationally. Georgia is one-dimensional to me. They can't play the bully ball.
Not like they could the last 2 years.
No, they've lost way too much, whether it's offense or
And,
defense.
you know, I don't know if you guys saw this, you know, MTM and all those guys are hurt. The freshman, Frazier, came in last week, played a really good second half, but at the end of the game, he was limping off the field. So we don't know how fresh Frazier's
Yeah,
going to be.
Etienne as a transfer has been disappointment to me this year.
Georgia is 4.2 yards per carry. They're over a yard per carry down from last year.
Last year
They're
was like
119th in the
Huge
nation.
difference.
Yeah.
They can't run the ball. They can't balance their offense. Texas, to me, has the balance. Quinn Ewers.
So let's throw this out, guys. If Texas beats them, is Georgia out?
Again, how do you punish them for losing in the conference championship when they already beat Texas earlier in the year? So I think
3 losses.
somehow they stay in.
Wow.
I really
Wow.
do. I really do.
on the
I don't even think
cusp.
Ohio State should be. Honestly, but you know, but who are you going to start putting in at this point?
Yeah, I mean, because you know what, we
You
said
can put
this.
in
We
Miami,
said this at
Florida,
the
Miami,
beginning
Ohio,
of the
you know.
year.
Yeah.
Whether it's 4 teams, teams 5 and 6 are going to bitch and moan they didn't get it. Now you got 12 teams. Now teams 13, 14, and 15 are saying, well, it's going to be Ole Miss, Miami, and South Carolina.
When we all started this thing at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and we talked about it, we said there were going to be some 2 and 3 lost teams in this tournament.
And it's going to be ugly.
So you're
And
on
it's gonna
Texas,
be a-
Dave?
I'm on Texas.
I'm on Texas.
I
all
lean to
day
Texas, but I will say this. The total's 49.5, 50. I think
high.
this is an under game.
long. Oh, way under.
I think this is an under.
Way
And the
under.
first half under, 23.5.
Oh, take that on. That's
I-
going to be a. That
That's
could be
a 10-6
game.
game at
10 to
halftime.
3, 10-6. Yeah, just like I said.
Yeah. Even at 13-10, you still covered by a half point. I mean,
You
Yeah.
said it was what, 23 and a half?
23.5 for the first half
Even
under.
if it was the final score of the Michigan-Ohio State game, you would have covered.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
exactly.
kidding.
Exactly.
Final.
With that great offense from Ohio State.
So we're all in agreement here, guys. We're on Texas, and we all seem to like the under. Last big game is Penn State and Oregon. It's indoors. It's at Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis. Oregon, I believe, is a 3.5 point spread right now.
Oregon runs the
I
brakes.
have
off
them at
this team.
3.5.
And the
Oregon
total
runs
here
the
is
brakes.
49.5.
Oregon runs the brakes.
We've seen, I Penn State last week. Oh, great! You beat Maryland 44-7. I think we could put a team together out of here and beat Maryland. Okay.
I wouldn't say Maryland. Purdue?
Well, Purdue,
Perhaps.
yeah,
Purdue
they-
for sure.
You know, Maryland might be a tall order.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think Oregon beats the holy hell out of them.
Well, I think this is a 41-17er. I think this is a blowout.
That high
really
scoring.
do.
So you like the over in this game too?
I like the over, and I like Oregon just to run roughshod.
See, my fear is Penn State doesn't score the ball at all because God knows we've seen them offensively be inept against good defenses.
Yeah.
So I could also see this being 31-10 Oregon.
Either
So
way,
I don't know about the total here.
it doesn't matter what the score is. Oregon's going to be on the top.
Total, I'm going Oregon. Or I'm sorry, total I'm going over, not Oregon. I've got Oregon's offense at 35.2 points per game, 448 yards per game.
Yeah.
Penn State's offense at 33.3 points per game and 442.8 yards per game. So this matchup is big. Penn State's got Drew Aller, 3,668 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on 71.6% completion percentage.
Good numbers.
Yeah, here's the thing.
The big thing for Penn State is their tight end. Tyler Warren,
Best tight end in the country.
Yeah.
987, 6 tutors, and
Yeah, he probably
81
wins the John
receiving
Mackey Award
yards.
this year.
He's the best tight end in the country.
Problem is, defensively, Penn State is 17th in pass rush in the nation. They've got an 8.3% sack rate. They can pressure the
They can
quarterback.
get after the quarterback, but
40.3%, 10th in the nation.
have they played a quarterback
Penn
like
State has a great defense. All you do is watch them against Ohio State. And they shut them down for 3 quarters.
have they played against a guy like Dylan Gabriel with his mobility? And even if Penn State's going to get up the field and get after him,
That's the next question.
That's the
Gabriel
thing.
breaks contain and either runs or got receivers open down the field on streaks.
That's the counterpoint.
I'm on Oregon here.
I'm all over Oregon to win this game. Big. Like big.
Given those numbers, Dave, who you got?
I'll take Oregon. I'm not gonna slide it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's the way to go.
not for nothing. Oregon's got the 5th best pass defense in the nation.
Yeah, they're
And
sneaky good.
And Penn
Their
State can't.
defensive backs are outstanding.
Look, when they lost
Oregon-
Christian Gonzalez 2 years ago,
Oregon's wide receivers are the difference. Penn
the
State's thrown
Patriots.
to a tight end.
Right.
they've
The top 2 wide receivers for Oregon have what? 1,200, almost 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The top 2 wide receivers, and then the quarterbacks 24 touchdowns to 6 interceptions for 3,300 yards.
to me, it's Oregon or no play. And I don't see how you don't take Oregon here.
You got to take Oregon.
Even
To
if
me,
the line
it's
goes-
Oregon, it's Oregon and Texas. Those are my two
Even if the
United
line
States
goes to
debate.
4, I'm still on Oregon here.
I'm on Oregon if it goes to 6.
Yeah.
That's my break.
If it goes to 6, I might tease it.
It's my breaking point at 6. I still think Oregon wins that game probably about 31-17, 31-13, somewhere in there.
Okay. All right. Before we get to the NFL, Heisman Trophy thoughts? I think Carson Beck has played his way out of an invitation.
Gone. See ya.
Cam Ward hasn't. Everybody says Cam
Gone.
Ward this, Cam
See
Ward
ya.
that, but he hasn't had that just magical moment at Heisman.
Could this be the first year that a running back gets it?
I still think it's Travis Hunter.
I still think so too.
You know, on Thanksgiving weekend, it's the national game at 12 o'clock. Catches 3 touchdowns and picks off a pass.
Played a great game. The
I
kid's
think
a really good athlete.
Well, what I did think was funny, and then I'll get to you guys who think, when Dion had his press conference this week, they said, well, what do you think about him being a Heisman candidate? He goes, how can you not vote for him? He said, but what blows my mind, what's the defensive back award? I
He
forget
wasn't
what it's called.
nominated for the Jim Thorpe
The Jim
Award.
Thorpe Award. He wasn't even
Yeah.
nominated for it. Dion said, screw it. You're not going to nominate him? I'll give you my
They
trophy.
nominated Combs from Ohio State, who got his ass kicked the last 2
He
weeks.
said, my trophy just sits around and collects dust, so I'll give him my trophy.
Yeah.
Because how can he not be a Heisman Trophy candidate and not be one of the best cornerbacks?
And a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But
Not
the
a Jim-
Thorpe Award. That's bizarre to me.
I think
Well, I don't think they want one guy winning 5 awards. is what this comes down to.
I think it's
matter.
Hunter. I think it's
They're all
Junti.
trophies and they all
Junti
collect
and Hunter,
dust.
and it's
And I guess, what do you throw? You throw Cam Ward in there? It's
But
somebody's
this
going to
will
be
be
the
the
third one.
first year that a quarterback doesn't win in, 11 years?
Been a while, yeah.
I think it's 11 years that'll be the first time we haven't had a quarterback win it.
Although Junti's put up big numbers at Boise.
He is a freak. Not a big guy, though.
No.
Big number, small guy, but he's a good football player.
All right, you've heard where we're leaning in college. We'll give you our picks after the NFL. Interesting week last week in the NFL. Your Lions did everything to give the game away on Thanksgiving Day.
Eberflused it
There
up.
it is, and he's out of a job.
Was that the worst thing you've ever seen?
No, it was Ryan Day on Saturday.
You get tackled with 36 seconds to go. You got a timeout. You leave it in your pocket, and you go into the game with that. You know, it was just terrible.
It was
Awful.
my second most disappointing win this season. The first being Aiden Hutchinson breaking his leg.
Well, no kidding. Yeah.
That sucked.
Well, they got beat
and
up
we
on the
won game.
defensive
and
side,
then
too.
I'm watching this game Thanksgiving Day, and literally food is dropping out of my mouth when they put the graphic up that says final 000, and I was like,
They were up, what, 16-0 at halftime?
17 nothing at the
17
half.
nothing. Yeah.
Game finished 23-20,
Yeah.
and you had 36 seconds, and it just said final 000. And I was like, they had a timeout.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing, guys. We all know this.
I
We're
thought
all
it was
football
CBS just screwing with me.
people. We're football people. You call a timeout. You call 2 plays.
Yep.
The first play is to get into the field goal range, which is only 6 yards away. The second play is to throw it down and out, maybe 7 to 10 yards.
Little sideline
Get
route.
that, get a sideline route. And now you got a 20 or, your ball's at the 20, so you got a
37-yard field goal.
37-yard field goal. You go into overtime. Then it's going to cover the spread, by the way, because the spread was 46
For the total.
for the total.
Yeah.
So you cover the over. Because
As a coach, I'm not worried about covering the spread. I don't know what league.
Oh, I think every coach knows about it in the back of their head.
I was worried about covering the over. That's all I
That's
could
why they
tell you.
have 2 earmuffs.
Well, I had thrown out the bet because I knew Detroit wasn't covering, so felt good at halftime.
I didn't think they were
I didn't
covering.
care about who won. I had the over.
Yeah. They got a big game tomorrow night, Dave.
The
Yeah.
best game of the week, and it's on Thursday.
I know.
The Sunday slate's terrible, by the way.
I agree.
Probably the worst slate of the year. But tomorrow night's game has repercussions
You
for
got
the
you
NFC.
got you got a couple in there that
Bills,
that I
Rams,
there's a couple that I like in this slate.
Chiefs, Chargers.
Yeah, in terms of what does it matter?
Correct.
Green Bay, Detroit. Yes,
The
that's
Chiefs
the
Chargers
biggest.
is big.
You know,
Green Bay, Detroit's huge. Other than that, I don't see a lot this week that excites me.
Who the Vikings play this week? They got a decent game.
Could be finishing up yard work this week on Sunday.
I forget who the Vikings play this week. They got a decent game, but anyways. So who you on for the Lions tomorrow?
am I
That's easy
on?
money. Detroit's going to win that game.
3.5's the line.
Yeah, it's easy money. Detroit by 10 tomorrow. Mark my word.
It's in the dome. It's at home. It's going to be noisy.
And they're
Green
coming
Bay's-
off a mini bye.
Green Bay's. So is Green Bay. They played.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
What am I
we're
thinking
talking a
of?
difference of what, 7 hours?
Yeah, I was thinking of playing Sunday. That's my fault.
Green Bay.
31-17 Detroit. Mark it in your calendar.
I think that
Easy money.
Detroit's defense gets after Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Jordan Love makes 1 or 2 bad mistakes every Sunday.
What's funny though, he makes 1 or 2 plays where you go, how in the hell do you do that?
Yeah,
He's that guy too. So
I'm not making a pick on this because I will be in the city
right.
for this game tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. I like Detroit. I'm
I
all over
don't
Detroit
want to touch it because I don't want to either bet against myself to win myself money to cushion the this and that. Is Detroit due? I mean, come on, man! It's been 10 in a row.
I know.
We ain't
But man,
lost since
you
week 2.
lose. The Eagles are tied with you.
We lose. Eagles are tied with us. Green Bay's.
And the Vikings
A
be a game
game.
back. Or tied, actually.
Yeah,
it gets
it
tight.
just gets tight.
Yeah.
And the
Now-
Eagles' schedule's cupcake down the stretch.
I will say this. It is now absolutely hostile territory. If Detroit can keep what they've got going, keep what they've built, all grit, more work, everything Dan has preached, I don't care who comes in there.
I tell you what, their
It's gonna get ugly.
1-2 combo with Montgomery and Gibbs
I love that combo.
is just fantastic.
It's the best in the NFL.
And then you got the 1-2 combo of St. Brown and Williams outside. You got Laporta healthy sneaking through.
Yeah, Laporta's
It's-
a damn good tight end.
The offense needs to carry this ailing defense. We got a lot
I
of
agree.
people injured right now.
But
right
you know what's
now,
funny?
stay
You know
the
what's
course.
funny is you're winning with injuries, and that tells me you've got the best roster in the NFL.
You're going to get guys back healthy. You just got to ride the storm.
Detroit has the best roster in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm on the
And
Lions
that-
tomorrow.
The proof of that is the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that all along. It's a damn good roster. I got Detroit all day. In
Yeah.
fact, I got that at 31-17, 31-14. Wouldn't even worry about that. That's
I'm not worried about it. I'm just not going to jinx myself one way or the other.
Last week's big game of the week, Eagles-Ravens. I thought the Eagles made a statement going
They
into
sure did.
Baltimore.
What's going on with
Saquon.
Baltimore, by the way?
I don't know.
Saquon
They're
makes
making it. They're just making it easier for the Steelers.
Sure.
I mean, now the games. They got a 2-game
But-
lead in the
but does
division
it
with a
mean
game in
or
hand on
has-
the tiebreaker.
Has the Baltimore front seven just kind of...
Their defense is non-existent.
Are we watching them collapse in front of our own face? That defensive front seven for Baltimore, which used to be the standard for the
That was their
NFL.
calling card.
It was their standard. That's what you had to have, is what they have.
They
And
lost-
now it's a joke.
And don't get
They
me wrong.
lost too many.
In the
They didn't sign
secondary, yeah,
Roquan.
I thought
They
Patrick
didn't
Queen was a
sign-
huge loss.
Retirements and losses, yeah.
Patrick Queen was a huge loss to the Steelers. They don't have the edge rushers they've had in years past. Even last year, they had a veteran like Calais Campbell, who even at like 37 years old could get after the quarterback. He's doing it in Miami now.
Right.
Eagles, it's a big number. They're a 12-point favorite this week at home against Carolina. Is it a letdown spot? Is Carolina deflated after just a gut-wrenching loss to the Bucs at home last week? I don't know if I want to lay the 12. I think the Eagles win and may win by double digits.
I ain't laying the 12. Not with what Carolina did to Kansas City.
My sneaker game in the NFL this week is I think the Raiders cover at Tampa.
What's that line? 6?
6.5.
Yeah.
You know why? Tampa's won 2 in a row. I mean,
I don't know. Tampa's back in this division now.
they are. I think they win the game, but I think the Raiders cover the spread at 6.5. I think it's one of those 27-23 or 23-20s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing in this one.
I disagree. I think Baker bakes. He finally got Mike Evans back.
He did.
He got Rashad White back. Bucky Irving is a
Boy, they're running the ball
Dude.
so well.
They are
and
running the ball
Cotton
well.
Cade Otten
Yeah.
ready to
Yeah.
roll. I don't think the Raiders can keep. I don't think the Raiders can keep up, and they don't.
Outside
Don't
of
want
Max
to.
Crosby, I mean, is there anybody you really fear? And maybe Christian Wilkins on a defensive line, but Bucs offensive line's playing well right now. They're opening
They are.
holes.
They are. I just
And,
like them for some reason. After you win 2 in a row, sometimes there's that mild letdown, especially when it's not a division game. I just like the Raiders to come in, play hard, and cover that spread.
I like the Bucs here this week. I think it's a great spot for a teaser. I think the Bucs win it outright and cover, but it's a good teaser spot for me here too, Dave.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucs against the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders in the points. Browns Steelers.
Oh, here we
Your
go.
boys.
Yeah, go get 'em.
Boy, did Russell Wilson find the fountain of youth.
No, he found Mike Tomlin.
Had a visit with Ponce
The
de
fountain of
Leon.
youth is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Justin Fields
How-
went 4-2
how-
with him. So
Monday night against the Broncos. How typical and like the prototypical Jameis Winston performance was that? He threw for 400 yards,
479 yards.
yeah, the most this year. What did he throw? Four touchdowns and 3
3
picks.
interceptions. Yeah, that's what you get with that.
That's 30-30. Fuck, pardon my language.
Yeah, but that's what
Well,
he
we
did.
lived through the frustration of Jameis Winston.
The last time he was a
Tampa.
starter in Tampa, He was 30 and 30. 30
And he threw for 5,000
interceptions,
yards.
and threw for 5,188 yards.
Jeez.
He is what he is. He's fun to watch.
I think the Steelers want revenge.
It's fun to listen to.
Oh, he's great to listen to. That guy's funny. He could end up being a preacher.
But
He's gonna
Tomlin,
have his own church someday.
Yeah, it wouldn't
You wait
surprise
till
me.
Yeah, that's gonna be a weird church.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great church. I'm gonna go if he opens a church just to check it out. I gotta go.
I bet you they serve crab legs every Sunday after
yeah,
Not to
service.
say.
No, I think Pittsburgh covers that 6.5 very easily.
As long as he
this
doesn't
week.
jump on a picnic table.
I think that's. I think Pittsburgh's defense puts a thumb on them.
Yeah, this
can't
is
run.
one.
Cleveland can't run.
Nope.
They're gonna get to Winston early, and I think this could be like a 27-7, 27-6 type of football game. I think that's what I'm seeing.
I like the Steelers. I think this
I
is
do
a
too.
perfect game to tease with the Bucks and take the Steelers down to even or minus a half, and the Bucks the same way. And I think it's a great teaser bet. I'm not going to bet the game straight. I just don't like Tomlin with bigger numbers at home. Sometimes they sleepwalk. Dave?
I care less about Tomlin, care less about the Steelers. I've heard about him enough.
We know who they are.
Come on, he's coach.
Clearly.
Tomlin's coach of the year.
Please.
Who deserves it more in the NFL?
He signed 2 starting quarterbacks to resurrect their careers, to stay above 500.
I don't know.
You know who hasn't been coach of the year? Dan Campbell.
You know who hasn't been coach of the year in 18 years? Mike Tomlin.
In 18 years. Dan Campbell's never been. Mike Tomlin hasn't done anything besides go 9-8.
He's won a
He's
Super
going
Bowl.
9-8 this year.
He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's
It's a
won
much
one.
better team this year.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
2000.
Let's get off this Steelers love. Not for nothing.
Let's get to our-
Bo Nix in Denver. Sean Payton looks like coach of the year material. When the Chargers go to Kansas City and beat the Chiefs, and Jim Harbaugh goes to 9-4, you might have to start talking about Jimmy
Possible.
being coach of the year.
I'm gonna pump the brakes on Sean Payton because there's still too many games left this year.
There's a lot.
What are they 7-5 right now?
Yeah, they're 7-5. Massive improvement, though.
Oh my God! I didn't see this coming
I
from
mean,
Bo
Nick
Nix.
Sirianni was screaming at fans and almost fired.
Sirianni's a clown.
He's a clown,
He's a kook.
but he
He's
went.
just nuts.
But he's got a streak going. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they were 2-2 when they lost to Tampa. And now all of a sudden they won what 9 in a row?
Yeah.
They're 11-2.
They're 11-2.
Yeah. So you want to tell me Mike Tomlin, who humming it along with the Bengals, who can't win a goddamn game?
What's Pittsburgh? 10-3. Yeah. I think it's a nice job by Tomlin. In fact, I think this is his best coaching job he's
One of
ever
them.
done.
One of them.
I'm just telling you. I don't think he's coach of the year or anything like that. What I'm saying is, when you look at that roster and you compare it to Detroit's roster, you compare it to San Francisco's roster, Philadelphia's roster, he's done a hell of a job.
No, he's done a hell
I'm not
of
a
a
fan
job
of
managing what he's got. But I'm looking at guys that are walking into spots that are somewhat unknown, either a rookie quarterback or a rookie coach coming in. And not for nothing, the Buffalo Bills losing
Yeah,
games.
McDermott's done a really
Sean
good job there.
McDermott's done a hell of a
You know what
job
the
making
thing about
them.
that Buffalo Bills team right now is they got a little attitude to it. They're a little mean. They're a little nasty.
Their defense has outperformed
And I'm gonna
anything
tell you
I
what,
thought they were going to bring
In
this
the
year.
AFC, they're getting healthy. They're starting to run the football. Stroud looks a little bit better than he did early in the year. The Texans are starting to play pretty good football.
A little better.
Bad loss to the Titans.
But they're playing really good football.
I think this is more of a sophomore slump for Stroud.
No,
Last
100%.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
the last 3 weeks, he's played much better. So maybe he's getting out of it, maybe he's coming to. And this is the time of year to do it. You got 5 games left. Go play your best 5 games, in
He
December.
better, because they say he didn't look very good against the Titans at home. It's a bad Titans team too. But enough of us jibber jabbering. Oh, by the way, did you hear what's his face, the old Arizona coach? Who's
Yeah, enough of jibber jabbering.
He's now the rumored favorite to take the job in Chicago, Kingsbury.
Oh, good
There,
Lord.
have at
They
it.
think because he's done well with Jalen, I can come with Caleb Williams.
If you wanna lead into that, I'm taking the Bears against San Francisco.
It's an interesting game. Well, go ahead.
The Bears.
Look at that.
The Bears.
Let's start with the NFL picks. Dave, you start with yours.
Hey, they fired Eberflus. They got rid of a problem. How do you bounce back? You've been hot. You've been in games. Caleb Williams.
Go on a road, get
is
away
not
from
the problem.
the pressure of home, and
San Francisco's on the downtick. No McCaffrey, no Mason. A lot of defensive players out.
Purdy's banged up.
Purdy's banged up. Like Chicago goes out west. I'm taking the Bears. They're giving 4.5 points to San Fran. I'm taking the Bears.
Bears are favored by 4.5.
No, the San
They're
Fran.
getting 4.5.
Yeah, they're getting
Okay.
4.5. Sorry.
Yeah, Fred Warner's been playing with a fractured ankle for the past 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
my
taking-
NFL
I'm
picks,
taking
I
the
got
Bears.
the Lions.
Oh, that's like Dave. Go ahead, your other two.
I'm taking the Rams over the Bills because it's all screwed up in the NFC West.
Yeah.
And you got the Cardinals playing the Seahawks, and everybody's all tied up.
Yeah, that's for
part of
first place.
That's part of it. The Bears need a good get-right win, finally. Okay, we got rid of Eberflus. Rah-rah, get him over San
I
Fran.
think it's a good pick.
Rams over the Bills. I'm taking the Chargers at the Chiefs, like I said. Coach of the Year, Jim Harbaugh's coming in. He's playing a game that Chiefs don't want to play. And outside of some slight refereeing, I think
Yeah,
Jimmy,
we'll see how-
I thought
Jimmy
the
knows how
job
to get
that-
them
We'll see how
signs.
that goes.
That defense did on the road last week, going into Atlanta and holding them to 13 points. I mean, that San Diego defense is
Yeah.
humming on every level.
And my last one is Dallas.
So you're on the Cowboys Monday night.
Cincinnati is a 5-point favorite, and they just can't do it. So screw it. It's in Jerry World, The Simpsons. I don't know who the quarterback is. It could be Bart. It could be Homer. Hell, it could be Maggie.
Why did they sign Trey Lance if they're not going to give him a shot to play?
Great question.
I don't get it.
I've been thinking about that for 2 weeks.
Guys, number 3 pick in the draft. He didn't, San Fran got rid of him after a year and a half.
Obviously,
whatever.
he's not ready.
Because clearly he didn't show anything.
Obviously,
Is
he's
Cooper
not
Rush
what they
that
want.
much better of an option?
Which is, if he is, that's pretty pathetic.
He has a better
Because you
name.
wasted a 4th-round draft.
I agree. All right, so Dave, you're on the Bears, you're on the Rams, you're on the Chargers, and you're on the Cowboys.
And the Bucks. And I'm not touching the Green Bay
A
Detroit.
5-pack in the NFL.
I got a
for Dave this
3-pack. I got Detroit. That's easy money.
week. Okay.
I've got the Dolphins at home against the Jets.
Love the Dolphins.
Easy money. And I got the Steelers at home. That's easy money.
Yeah, in order for Miami to stay in the playoff race, and they're on the outside looking in, but
Yeah.
they have to win this. And the Jets are just shot.
Well, just a dysfunctional franchise.
That's it. So I'm on the Dolphins. I like Arizona at home this week.
Against the Squawks.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are overrated. I just have no faith in Geno Smith, and I'm on the Bucks. And like I said, my teaser, and you can make it a 4th play, is the Steelers at even or -0.5, and the Bucks at even or -0.5. I think that's a winner. Tom, you want to go ahead with your college picks?
College picks. My first pick is an outliner, but it's a MAC championship. I'm taking Miami of Ohio all day over OU. Love that game.
You are the Mac man.
I love Oregon. Really like Oregon. Man, after that, it gets really small picking.
It does.
I mean, you put a gun to my head, I'm taking Texas. So those are my 3.
Okay. Dave, go ahead.
As I said earlier, I don't know what to expect from Arizona State and Iowa State. But with what I talked about earlier, I'm going to just take Arizona State. We're going to call it Sun Devils. Somehow make it into the CFP because That'll give them a championship win there in AT&T Stadium. I think Texas is too much for Georgia. I've seen enough of Georgia. I've seen what Georgia can do. I've seen what they can't do. So I think Texas is just going to play bully ball.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But if they need to, they can flip the script on them.
Yeah.
Sark knows Kirby. So
But here's the thing, though. We need to know, Quentin Ewers, he has not had a great season. And he's
Doesn't
thrown a lot of
need
INTs, but he doesn't need to.
March
But if he
Manning is
has
right
to-
there waiting if
But
he
if
has
he
to.
has to play a passing game, that game will be interesting if he has to throw the
Yeah.
football. Especially if Texas gets down early, they're screwed.
they've
But I
got
don't think they will.
they've got the second best
No.
defense nationally.
Yeah.
Look,
They're secondary and first in yards allowed.
Like
all right?
like they say, the
Texas
numbers
can-
on the back of your player card don't lie.
Right.
Texas is what it is, and I'm on Texas.
Yep.
I've
that's why I
already
took
stated
them.
I like the under in the game, under 49.5, and I like the first half under 23.5.
And I've never seen a duck swarm a lion.
Well,
But I
I'm
think
on the
it's gonna
Ducks
be
as well.
scary when the
I'm
Oregon
not
Ducks.
touching that one, but Miami, Ohio is my gold.
I think that Oregon's just got too much offensively for Penn State.
Oh, I do
really
too.
do.
I think so too, Sean.
And I'll take Arizona State, and I'll lay the 2.5. Get it before it goes to 3. I don't like it at 3.
It could end up being 3.5 too. We don't know.
Yeah,
It could be.
and
It's only
I'm
Wednesday
on
night.
Clemson. And I guess if I had to pick a dog of the week, it would be Clemson.
Yeah, I'm not touching Clemson.
I just think it's more of a home game for them in Charlotte.
It is,
if
and
we get
I like
bad
him, but we
weather-
also have to know, Dabo has not been great in big games the last 3 years.
Nope.
So we have to look at that. But we don't know what, truly, as much as we watch the ACC and this and that, SMU's the new guy coming in. We don't really know just how good SMU is. I've watched them a couple times this year. Do I think they're good? Yeah, but compared to what?
All right,
Does that make sense?
I agree. I agree.
I agree.
So I don't know how good they are going forward.
But think about this: the 4 major championships. If Oregon wins, if Texas wins, if Arizona State wins, and SMU wins, 4 newcomers,
all in the
conference championships, and they all win
in the Big
that,
Four.
That'd be crazy.
That's crazy.
That's just
crazy.
Just
And that
talks to you
throws a
about
real
Barry.
wrench in to our top 12, which I almost hope it happens.
Me too. Make it.
I
just
want to see
crazy.
chaos.
I
I
agree.
want to see those guys on Sunday night come on ESPN with their asses puckered up going, we took this one. We took this one.
I know.
And have to justify it.
Well, we'll find
have
out
to
this
justify
weekend, guys.
Today is December 4th. It is 8:03 p.m.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
My dog of the week is Michigan going next year
Oh God, he's already
over
starting
Ohio
this.
You
State.
can have it all he wants.
Yeah.
I don't let
Hell.
Michigan play in my head. and
These
I don't
two
let-
can go back and forth
And
all
I don't
day
let
on
Ohio,
this.
Ohio State plays in his head. That's
I don't
why-
care what the
Look, we
spread
gave
is,
you our
let's
NFL
fucking
picks.
go.
We gave you a lot of great college analysis and breakdowns. You've got our college picks this week. We even talked a little Heisman Trophy. I think we touched on just about everything. Some coaching vacancies and what may and may not happen. So that's all for us on this Wednesday night, December 4th. Everybody stay warm, avoid the snow. And thank you for watching the Florida Gambling Boys. If you're new,
Go blue.
hit subscribe, like, hit the bell and it does nothing but help our channel. So, for Midwest Tom Tice and for Super Dave Kreitz,
You have a good one, guys.
next week's
exist.
show we will know who's in the playoffs and we'll break it down and probably know the bowl scenarios for all the matchups because it starts on the 20th and the 21st.
Yeah, we'll have all the bowl scenarios on Sunday night.
It's 2 weeks
Yeah.
away. So,
Yeah.
thanks for
Pitter
tuning
patter,
into the
boys.
show, guys. We'll see you next
a good
week.
one.
Florida Gambling Boys on YouTube.